Hello friends, welcome to the YouTube channel Civil Steps. So Civil Steps has started one of the important series that is for prelims 2022. So Target Prelims 2022 initiative of Civil Steps will help students to cover the important topics of history, geography, polity, economy, science, environment and current affairs. So this Target Prelims 2022 series has started from 19th of December 2021 and will help you to cover more than 1000 important topics for prelims examinations. Target Prelims 2022 has been designed keeping in mind the dynamic nature of the UPSC civil services examinations. Hence, Target 2022 focus on overall preparation of a serious civil services aspirant, and it will sail you through UPSC civil services examination very smoothly. So today we will discuss important MCQs of economy. So the first question is, considering the following statements, first, purchasing power parity exchange rates are calculated by the prices of the same basket of goods and services in different countries. Second, in terms of PPP dollars, India is the sixth largest economy in the world. So, which of the statements given above are correct? Option number A, one only, B, two only, C, both one and two, D, neither one nor two. So, you can pause this video and write your answer in the comment section below. I hope you have written the answer. So, the answer of this question is option number A, one only. So, purchasing power parity is a hypothetical concept that tries to compare two currencies' exchange rates through their purchasing power in respective countries. So, statement number one is right. In 2014 April, India displaces Japan to become third largest world economy in terms of purchasing power parity. So statement number second is also wrong. So we are left with answer A, option number 1 only. So this was the question that was asked by UPSC in 2019 prelims examination. So this topic is very important, purchasing power parity. So you can cover this topic from standard sources. So now let us discuss question number second. Along with the budget, the finance minister also places other documents before the parliament, which include the microeconomic framework statement. The aforesaid document is presented because this is mandated by what? Option number A, long standing parliamentary convention, B, Article 112 and Article 110 Section 1 of the Constitution of India, option number C, Article 113 of the Constitution of India, option number D, provision of the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act 2003. So you can pause this video and write your answer in the comment section below. I hope you have written the answer. So the answer of this question is option number D, provision of the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act 2003. So this topic is very important, this act, and you must read about this act from standard sources. This has already been asked by UPSC in previous prelims examination, and this question was asked by UPSC in 2020 prelims examination. So I hope you have understood this topic. Now let us discuss question number third. With reference to National Investment and Infrastructure Fund, which of the following statements are correct? First, it is an organ of Niti Aayog. Second, it has a corpus of rupees 4 lakh crore at present. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Option number A, 1 only, B, 2 only, C, both 1 and 2, D, neither one nor two. So you can pause this video and write your answer in the comment section below. So the answer of this question is option number D, neither one nor two. So this NIIF is under Department of Economic Affairs. So first statement is wrong. It was set up in budget 2015 with 40,000 crores, but even if counting the recent allotments like budget 2017, the 4 lakh amount is unrealistic. So second statement is also wrong. So UPSC has the habit of asking about funds which are in current news. So you should cover the important funds which are in the news nowadays. So that was all about question number third. Now let us discuss question number four. Increase in absolute and per capita real GNP do not connote a higher level of economic development if option number A, industrial output fails to keep pace with agricultural output, B, agricultural output fails to keep pace with industrial output, option number C, poverty and unemployment increase, option number D, imports grow faster than exports. So you can pause this video and write your answer in the comment section. So the answer of this question is option number C, poverty and unemployment increase. So economic development includes not only economic growth but also various other economic changes that improve the quality of life or standard of living of people in a country. If with economic growth, a country experiences various economic changes such as reduction in poverty and unemployment, reduction in income and wealth inequality, increase in literacy rate, improvement in health and hygiene, etc., that improve the quality of life, then that is economic development. So you should know the difference between economic growth and economic development. So this is very, very important from UPSC exam point of view. So this question can also come in mains examination. So you should cover this topic very well from the standard sources. Now let us discuss the final question of this video. If another global financial crisis happens in the near future, which of the following actions or policies are most likely to give some immunity to India? First, not depending on short term foreign borrowings. Second, opening up to more foreign banks. Third, maintaining full capital account convertibility. So select the correct answer using the code given below. Option number A, 1 only, B, 1 and 2 only, C, 3 only, D, 1, 2 and 3. So you can pause this video and write your answer in the comment section below. So the answer of this question is option number A, 1 only. So keeping full capital account convertibility will make India vulnerable to global crisis, just like the 1997 crisis among the East Asian countries. So statement number 3 is wrong. So if Indian government or RBI allows opening of more foreign banks in India, there could be a dangerous scenario where foreign problems may percolate into Indian economy. So statement number 2 is wrong. So we are left with answer A, option number A, 1 only. So this was a conceptual question that was asked by UPSC in 2020 prelims examination. So you should cover your basic concepts very clear from standard sources. So that was all about today's video. I hope you liked the video. So you can subscribe the channel and you can also press the bell icon. Thank you.